Tori Cruz. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Please put your comments below, and you can also find me on social media at Miss Tori Cruz. The one and only Luciera. I always love to ask at the beginning, how would you describe yourself? If we have any listeners here that maybe have not heard of you before, what do you do? What are you doing currently? Give us a little bit of background and all the good details about that.
Okay, well, right now I am a runway choreographer and / life coach. And I like to say that because I'm doing a lot right now, primarily in the pageant arena. And to win a pageant takes someone with high self-esteem, AKA a boss lady. So in order to win, you have to be really secure with yourself, which, by the way, is one of the reasons I love pageantry. It really can help a young lady find herself. So I do a lot of choreography. I am choreographing Ashley Stewart's big show coming up. I just recently did a big event for Samsung. So I don't only do just runway or pageantry. I choreograph anything that's a bunch of people moving around. I specialize in live television.
Perfect. And how did you get involved in all of those different arenas?
Starting as a professional model at the age of 17, moving to New York, and then to Paris, I was, through the grace of God, extremely successful. And I will fast forward after modeling long-term for designers like Givenchy, Yves Saint Laurent, Ungaro. New York, I was known as the Bob Mackie model, but I did a lot for Escada de la Renta, Bill Blass. So moving forward, I had girlfriends who were not landing the jobs at our agencies. And one of them one day said, Lou, you gotta help me. I get the first call back, but I don't land the job. After working with her, she started landing all the jobs. Our booker at the agency said, what are you doing? She said, honestly, Lou is helping me. Our agent called me in and said, listen, would you mind helping the new models? We'll pay because they're an investment for us. Bad news, they'll be competing against you one day. That did not matter to me, which is one of the things I tell girls all the time. A girl can have on your identical dress. She can do an identical turn. The makeup and hair person could have done identical makeup and hair on you, but it will be you that wins them over.
Yes.
I did not walk in fear. I trained a lot of girls much younger than me and still landed the jobs over them. The Universe organization decided to interview me to help make the girls into top models very quickly. Because as you well know, we are there for less than 2 weeks. By the way, I'm getting a lot of feedback because, anyway, long story short, you well know not everyone has to listen to me.
Yes.
They take my constructive criticism and do something with it or not. But I get blamed if they don't, and very often not get any credit if they do. But I started working for the Universe organization, and the ratings went up, and it's been quite successful, and that's one of the things I do now.
Well, you did an incredible job my year, that's for sure. Well, and I know you are highly, highly respected in this industry, especially for runway modeling and choreographing. You're just amazing. So thank you for all you do. And because it was an amazing experience with you at Miss USA, we all just loved working with you.
Well, so, may I say, I wish I had more girls like you.
Oh, thank you.
Are such a professional, to the T professional.
Thank you. I was taking notes every step of the way, that's for sure, at Miss USA. Every note, everything you're saying, I was jotting it down. So what would you recommend to girls who are wanting to be a runway model and maybe going for their first casting call? They don't know what to expect. They don't know what to wear. What would you say to them?
First, any girl who is attempting to go into modeling, I'm trying to talk out of it. Modeling is not growing. They are now using animated figures for campaigns. They're using holograms on the runway.
Wow.
And I would never tell you to invest your young years, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, for something that you cannot purchase a house by the age of 25. And I just don't see that moving forward as an industry that's growing. Technology is really taking over. It would be the same if someone were asking me, could they be a librarian, open a bookstore, be a telephone operator? I just don't see those industries growing.
Yeah.
But I'm never here to crush dreams. First, no one can get you with an agent. That's ridiculous. An agency has to have a place for you. Example, my agent would never take 3, 4 girls who look identical to me, because I would then take my clients and leave. So agencies don't have 20, 30, 40 girls that look the same. Mm-hmm. So they need to need your look. You do not need a portfolio. That is a scam. A portfolio is not a book full of pictures you paid for. That's called a photo album. Everybody and their mother has one. A portfolio is a book full of work. So once you get an agent, they will send you to a testing photographer. You will do anywhere from 2 to 4 shots, and then you go out and get work. You don't keep paying for pictures. So anyone saying, give me a couple of thousand and I'll make you a portfolio, that's just not real. Thirdly, your portfolio, your pictures will be done through your agency because they know what their market is or what their clients want. Example, all your pictures are really, really sexy. You think you should have in your portfolio when they are looking more for JCPenney's, Gap, Banana Republic, Target, all those clients which pay incredible money, but yet you're in a bikini with red nails and black liquid liner, and they wanted you more fresh face in a skinny hip hugger jean and just an off the shoulder white beautiful blouse, smiling softly. So your agent will know what the clients want, which will help you get work. Secondly, agents don't make you pay. Or should I say fourth now? Agents don't make you pay. Agents take 20% of the check you get from the client, and they charge the client 20% handling fee for you. That's how an agent makes a living. And to get an agent is so simple. You send a picture to an agent in a skinny jean, no makeup, and a tank top. They will email you back if they're interested at all and ask if you have other photographs. If you do, you send them. If you don't, you say no, and they will call you in to talk to you to see then if you have what it takes mentally. Then, if they like you, they will keep you with the agency 1 to 3 months. If you do not land a job, it is not their job to help you land a job. That's where being able to draw the attention of the designer when he walks through the room, being able to show off the outfit or sell the product, not yourself. That's where those type of things come in.
And I think that you made a really good point there, is that you sell the product, not yourself. And if some of my listeners are actually in the pageant industry, it's a very big difference when you're modeling a product. So tell us, how can you go from being a pageant girl to then a model?
First of all, it has nothing to do with any occupation you had before. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, there is a heightened alert, a big red light, a stigma, if you might want to say, over pageant girls. The agencies I know will not touch pageant girls. Unfortunately, there are those who came before you and made it very bad by telling a designer or a client, I want this kind of makeup. I want this hair. What do you mean you want me to be? A model would never open her mouth ever to say how she should look. That is 100% up to the client. Secondly, when I'm selling a product, the product is important. I need to know, are there pockets? Because I need to show that in the picture. To show the collar, show the collar. You have to take the product in and say, how can I best show the person who would be purchasing this why they should purchase it?
Right.
And there's no model that's born with that. We learn from trial and error as well, but we do our homework. We watch fashion shows during Fashion Week. We look at magazines and catalogs and see how they sell an outfit.
So if there's a woman who wants to be walking in New York Fashion Week, or maybe Miami Swim Week, or wants to be the next Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, what do you recommend that process? How do they even get to that point?
First, no major client will take you if you're not with an agency. Okay. They don't hire girls off the internet. And I just want to be absolutely clear. Yes, there are internet models. Internet models don't walk in New York Fashion Week. Internet models have a large following, so they get paid to wear a watch when they're out and show the watch. They get paid to wear a necklace at a club of some sort or show up at a club, and they get paid to publicize that. That has absolutely nothing to do with New York Fashion Week. A designer or a client such as Avon, Maybelline, MAC would never in their wildest dreams hire someone off the internet. If that person doesn't show up for whatever reason, do you understand the world of trouble that client would be in? Internet modeling is very, very, very different. If I were to shoot an Avon campaign and Avon hired me and I did not show up, the photographer who gets paid 10 grand a day, his assistant that makes 2,000, the hair and makeup person that make 2,500, the catering that cost 1,500, the studio that was rented was 5,000. All of those people can't meet tomorrow because they have other jobs. So all of that money is gone. That's why they only go through a major agency, because one, they can sue the agency if I don't show up to recoup the money. Or secondly, my agency will replace me if the client didn't already have a plan B girl on hold. So all you have to do again is know your market. You're not going to be high fashion if you're under 5'9", which, by the way, ladies, it has nothing to do with how fabulous you are. Designers don't find a model and then make the clothing. They make the clothing the minute one fashion week starts, they start again. And they have what's called a fit model. That's the person that their patterns are made on. Why, Lou, does a girl have to be 5'9", 5'10", 5'11"? After Donna Karen's clothing do New York Fashion Week, that group of clothing will then go to California, say Neiman Marcus, for wealthy women to order it. Then that same group of clothing is going to go to Dallas, Texas, Saks Fifth Avenue, for wealthy women to order it. How can they find models in each of those areas that's 5'4", 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", 5... They can't. It would be crazy. So the designers and the agencies got together and said, it's best for us, that being a designer, if the girl is long, so you see more of my design on an outfit.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
They want to see, it's all about the clothing. It is not about the girls. Very often I get girls who get New York Fashion Week very confused with doing their neighborhood fashion show in a boutique. And it's about them turning and their hair and their makeup and their body. That is a designer's worst nightmare, that people are talking about you and not staring at their clothing. If a designer had a choice, they would have a clothes hanger walk down a runway. That's why they love holograms. holograms. The hologram is just standing there, and the press can walk around and strictly look at the clothing.
Wow.
So all you have to do is know your market. You're either commercial print, which you're on the shorter side, but you'll still make money. That means Pretty Woman Next Door, commercial print. Or you're high fashion, over the height of 5'9", and an American size 2. No, let me take that back. A European size 2.
And that is a lot different.
Ladies, go try on Escada de la Renta and see what size you are. Okay? Not Gap, Banana Republic, Jones of New York, Liz Claiborne, Calvin Klein. No. It's a number one. I have more girls who, when I look at them, I say, baby, I need you to go try on an Escada de la. I'm a 2, I'm telling you. I might even be 0. I need you to try on an Escada de la Renta, show me the front, and then show me the number in the back. Never happens. Because I know they're not a European size 2.
All right, so we've talked a lot about modeling. Now I want to switch gears and speak a little bit more towards the pageant industry.
Okay.
So at my experience as Miss USA, I remember we had, of course, so many different things to remember in those short 2 weeks. And one of the biggest things that comes to my mind are cameras and judges.
Yes.
So what would you recommend to a lot of the girls who are wondering how much should I look at the judges? Should I scan them? Should I stare at them? Or what really should they do there? And also,
well, on final night, they don't have a choice. They're not looking at judges at all. The judges aren't looking at them. For those of you who may not know, on final night, the judges never once look up at you. The judges are always looking down, and they have teleprompters, AKA TV screens, so they can get extreme close-up because it's a beauty pageant.
And this is I'm sorry, so this is at Miss USA. Is that the same for Miss America as well?
It's for Miss America. It's for all the major pageants. Okay. IJM, which is the 3rd biggest pageant right now, International Junior Miss. All the pageants are moving forward that way. Now, not on a state level, on a national level. Because again, the back of a dress means nothing to me when I'm choosing a winner. But a lazy eye, bad skin, crooked teeth, bad roots in the hair, split ends, rounded shoulders, those type of things, the white of the eye, yellow, the beauty teeth to be beautiful, way too much contour, drag queen eyebrows that are so drastic and so sharp. Those things are important, not the back of a dress, not how much the stones cost. Because yes, I want lights, and the more you spend on a stone on a dress, the lights hit it a different way. But half your shots are extreme close-up. That's why face is so important. So when it comes to looking at the judges, I like to tell ladies this rule. Look at the judges when you come out, and look at the judges when you leave. And between the two, leaving is more important because that's when they're writing your score. Staring a judge down makes them very uncomfortable. And quite frankly, if I've looked at you as soon as I come out, I've made that connection. So that personal connection has started between you and I. When I'm in front of you, if I then give the audience love, it lets a judge get an idea of what I'm going to look like on stage in front of an auditorium full of young people. They can say, wow, she's going to be great when she's on stage, and then leaving, of course. So that's what I tell people when it comes to judges.
Wonderful. And also when it comes to facial expressions, what do you recommend? What if you are a person who smiles all the time and you're not so good at that serious, sexy face? What would you recommend as far as changing your face up for different aspects of competition?
I've never met anyone that could not do a flirt. What happens is girls try to do other girls' flirts. Your flirt is uniquely you, just like your walk. I get I'm just so frustrated with coaches that are trying to teach girls the same walk. And I mean no disrespect with my former misses, but I don't need a miss to teach a girl how she walked. This girl she's teaching, the hips might be different, the knees might knock, the girl may have bigger or smaller breasts, maybe more boy, could be taller or shorter. Just like a teacher in a classroom knows my overachiever student, I'm going to have her in the front because I'll have her erase the boards, collect the papers. She's the overachiever. The kid in the back that seems to always be going through depression, I'll lower my voice when I talk to that student. I'll rub their back. I'll be more patient. Just like a teacher knows how to teach all, that's what you need. Someone that looks at you and says, you should not do your number one smile the most because you're all gum. That's what I would have to know to win this. Someone telling me, you have to do your big smile the most because that's Miss USA, would make me put my number one smile up against another girl who wasn't so gummy, and with extreme close-up, I would scare the bejesus out of her, and she would win. You have to take what's you. And that flirt is not something, girls get confused with a sexy look, something out of a magazine or something they saw on America's Next Top Model. It's not anything that looks like this. That's not what we need. When we say flirt for a miss, she's thinking something powerful behind her eyes, and the lips can be soft. The lips can be slightly open. The eyes can be wide. The eyes can squint. That depends on you and your face and what makes you feel good. And the best news of all, if you could hold it for 2 seconds only, you can win. But to ever go into a pageant and think, I can beat a girl with 4 good cards, 4 good faces, and all I have is 1 good card, 1 good face, is ludicrous. In my top 10, everybody has a beautiful smile. That's why I don't understand girls who come only with a smile. But can I just name, it's funny you say this because I'm starting a portion on my social media called Stop the Madness. And maybe some people saw it last week. I started with, judges will count you lower if they can see your shoe in evening gown.
Really?
That is one. No, there are a lot of coaches telling girls that. And I want to say, there was one pageant a long time ago that I knew that to be true. But I have never in a major pageant since the 2000s seen a judge punish a girl because the seamstress did it a little too short. The dry cleaner shrunk the dress, or worse, you're at Miss USA, your heel breaks, and instead of throwing in the towel, you say, I can wear this heel, which makes your dress a little bit short. But I'm gonna punish you. Everything else was great about you. Everything. But gosh darn it, I can see you. Oh, you're a loser. Do you see how that's crazy? But I have coaches who are telling girls this, and it's paralyzing them because girls are coming to me with a legit question. How can the dress be long enough when I walk that you don't see my shoe without being too long to go under my feet? It can't.
So in your
Stop the madness.
So your Instagram page, you said that's what you're doing is your Instagram page. You're
Yes,
starting
I started last week, Stop the Madness. Because
Stop the
there are
Madness.
just things that girls have come to me, coaches have taught them, that have paralyzed them. They should wear the same color the whole weekend. Why would you want to be known for one color? When does a winner on social media wear the same color the entire weekend and young girls wouldn't laugh at her? When would 8 judges say, all of us like green and love it, right? She the winner because she the green girl. Instead of letting a judge see you in red in interview, green on stage, yellow in a bikini, and capture everyone. Just like you would do when you go to the MTV Music Awards, the Oscars, the Grammys, to have lunch with the president, you would look different. So why would you go to a pageant and think, let me look the same every day?
That's so true. So
I'll be doing more of Stop the Madness.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Stop the Madness. This is going to be good.
Yes. I'm gonna make a lot of enemies, but you know what? From the time I've done this, I vow to be the girl's hero. I vow to be your run or die partner. I vow to be the person I needed when I wanted to make my dreams come true. Someone that wouldn't scam me, wouldn't fleece me, knew what they were talking about. If they didn't, said, I don't know, and would call somebody to find out, and gave me constructive criticism, but solutions.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. So many coaches tell you're horrible, but they don't tell you how to fix anything.
So if there's a girl out there right now that's thinking, maybe I do want to go into the fashion industry or pageant industry, what would you recommend to them if they're a little bit fearful or skeptical about stepping outside of their comfort zone?
Don't go. Don't go.
Really? Why say don't go?
Because modeling is not something you go into if you're afraid.
How about pageantry?
I like pageantry because pageantry can help you grow. Modeling doesn't help you grow. To get rejected, there are people, as a model, I'd never forget, there was one week I went on 38 castings and didn't land one job.
That's hard.
And it had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
When the designer said she's too tall, I was too tall for that designer. The next day when one said she's too short, I was too short for that designer. If you are already not strong, that you can brush it off, get up the next day, feel good, and go back out positive. You should not go into a career that daily rejection is what you do. That's why girls self-medicate. Girls start to look for a little something they can take and control, because the job is not something they can control.
Right.
And makes them feel good. Now, pageantry, on the other hand, is. And it's funny because now my top friend models say I've drunk the Kool-Aid. Because at first I was one of those models, I confess, that did not understand pageantry. And now I love it. I have seen young girls who could not look me in the eye, whose voice was like this, and didn't know, I don't know what my favorite color is. I don't know what kind of dress I like. All of a sudden can look straight into the eye, speak with authority, and say, my favorite color is red, but my power color is yellow. I know when I walk into a room and I want to rule the world, I wear yellow. I've seen that transition. I've seen a girl start to love her figure and realize she doesn't have to be a stick figure. Curves are great. I've seen girls say, Deshauna Barber was here and Miss Hawaii was here and Deshauna won. I've seen girls say Olivia Coppola was here and Marilyn was here and Olivia won. height is not the with-all in the world. So I love pageantry. I even tell moms they should really get their daughters in pageantry. Oh, let me tell you my favorite thing, because people think it's crazy. My favorite thing about pageantry is, in one weekend, you're going to meet somebody who's not so nice, but it gives you just that weekend to realize you don't let that person make you give up on your dreams or quit a job you really want. Every little girl should learn that before they go in the workforce. And you meet a mean person sitting in a cubicle next to you, and I don't want to work here anymore. Girl, you got to pay your rent. You gotta go to work. Pageants are excellent with that, because
They definitely are.
The world is nice.
They definitely are. And there may be one person in 1,000 of them, but you make amazing friends through it all too.
Yes.
And that's another thing that I know for me, it was just incredible. Heck, I have a friend in every single state in the United States now, just from Miss USA. I could call them up. So yeah, it's definitely, I couldn't agree with you more. It really is a sisterhood. As much as people say that, it really truly is.
Absolutely.
So as far as going back to like your fears, were you born with that where you could just overcome that fear? Or when you hit a challenge, when you got all of those no's, those 38 no's, how did you get back up the next day and keep going?
I'm going to be quite honest. My sister likes to say I was born missing the gene of fear. There are people who just say, I don't know. I'm so grateful to God, because I realize now I was in situations that were actually quite dangerous. I didn't know it at some point in my modeling career. I have been blessed that hasn't been a challenge for me. When people said, you're never going to make it as a model, I said, I will. I've only regretted the things I didn't try. I have never regretted the things I did. Never, even the ones that didn't turn out, because I later realized it wasn't meant to turn out.
Yes, completely.
It wasn't meant. Number one would probably be being an actress was something I really wanted early on. But I now realize having to choose between my career and my walk with Christ on a daily basis would have messed with me. It doesn't mess with a lot of my friends who are devout Christians. It doesn't. And I'm proud of them. It would have messed with me because we're each different. So on me to develop that character, and she's a certain type of person, I know it's acting, but that would have weighed in on me. So there are certain things we're not supposed to do. If you're afraid of the sight of blood, you can't be a doctor. I don't care how good you are in college with the dummy that's laying in the play operating room. If you're afraid of heights, you can't be a window washer. I don't care how much you like being outside. You can't. So there are just certain careers. You have to know daily rejection is not good for me. I truly believe that's why we have so many artists with so many issues of self-medication. And that may not be drinking or drugs. That could be shopping, where they lose their money, because shopping gives us a little moment of, oh, I feel good. It could be bad relationships, because for a little while, I got somebody, let me get somebody else. So if you're not happy with yourself and using your talents, not someone else's, your talents, you're not going to be happy moving forward. And if something doesn't work out, find something that could keep you, I like to say, under that umbrella. If modeling doesn't work out, maybe a fashion stylist where you're styling for magazines. Mm-hmm. You're on the photo shoot and you get to go to major designers and things. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to work as an agent at an agency where you can help other girls make their dreams come true and be more professional. The girls you see that do have what it takes. Maybe a photographer, because then your eye will be the creative eye. And you can make that image that you are thinking in your head. But, you know, if one doesn't work, you can stay under that umbrella.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Very great advice. So if any girls listening want to work with you, want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Please do. All you have to do is go on my website, Alup, A-L-U-P, which, by the way, that stands for a Loop Production. A-L-U-P, Alup Production, International, alupinternational.com. You can email me there or through Facebook or Instagram, Lou Sierra. I'd love to work with you. Oh, and by the way, my app is on Android and it's on Apple iPhone, and it's called Lou Sierra Modelversity.
Well, thank you so much, Lou. It's been such a pleasure talking to you and seeing your face again. It's always a joy. And just thank you so much for taking your time to share the love and all the knowledge and guidance for all of the women listening too.
And may I just say, I am so proud of you. You are one of the best examples of what pageantry can do and how it should be used as a stepping stone. Not a within, if it doesn't happen, my life is over. But it's just something to give texture to the quilt that is your life.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Also, please follow me on social media at Miss Tori Cruz. Until next time, be unstoppable.